Hey, it's Mario. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Um, I am about 5 months on testosterone. And I wrote a bunch down to make sure I remembered it all. My voice, of course, is changing. A lot of people are telling me that it's changing. I can also hear it, but I I'm scared to like watch the old ones to listen to it because I just hate the sound of my voice, but I'm hating it less now. Um, it's still a little bit painful and tricky and like cracking and breaking, but for the most part, it's getting there. I think we're mostly through the white water rapids of it, and we're just gonna keep going into deeper waters, I guess. My singing voice has changed faster than my speaking voice. My speaking voice is still kind of up there, I think. It's hard to tell when it's your own voice. But my singing voice, I already was a contralto, which for those that don't know, which most of you, is about the lowest like a woman's singing voice naturally can be, basically, in terms of the everyday. And contraltos are pretty rare already. It's kind of the high, like in between alto and tenor. So the very, very low female, but also very, very high male voice. So I started low. Um, and then I think I'm just getting deeper and deeper. Like my singing voice is much deeper. I am well into baritone. I think we're gonna end up in bass territory, really, really deep, which is interesting. But I'm excited, I guess. Uh, Cross that one off. Um, I have gone down 2 cup sizes in less than 6 months on testosterone. I was a C cup. Now I am barely an A cup, honestly. Like, I'm not binding or taping or anything right now, and I think that's crazy. My doctor told me I can expect some breast atrophy, but said that they kind of get saggy, and they're like a little bit saggy, I guess. Like the skin's a bit loose, but for the most part, they just shrunk. I, I mean, I knew I was getting a second puberty, but I didn't really know it was gonna undo the first one. Ungrowing boobs, coolest part about this experience so far. Okay, I just want to share that. And I didn't notice they were smaller until it was pointed out to me. Because they go away slowly, bit by bit. And I don't look at those in the mirror anyway. So like I'm not paying attention. Um this next part is even more TMI, and I really need to be careful about this part, but the people that need to watch this, the people that this is for, this is relevant information. This red object I'm holding up will symbolize that I'm talking about sex and the effects on my sexual organs. Keep tapping right here. I believe whichever side is the tap forward in video. Um, uh, until I'm not holding this anymore, and then you won't have to listen to me talk about my sex life. But I've talked about it before that I'm getting some atrophy, some pain during sex, like way more than I'm used to. My body's a little messed up. And it is getting worse. I went to my gynecologist about it, and there wasn't a ton she could do for me. She could rule out a bunch of other things and said, well, it's none of these. I think it probably is the atrophy from the testosterone. So she was like, so talk to your endocrinologist about it. And I reached out to her, but my endo is taking a while, so I am waiting, and I need to do a follow-up, but I also have ADHD, so that's hard. I procrastinated making this video for a few days. But it's painful. I'm experiencing dryness. Again, I'm not getting as wet as I used to. I'm not stretching as well as I used to. Sometimes I will bleed even if I didn't put anything in there, even if it was only like outside contact. Uh, I would still bleed. It would hurt and burn and sting. Really not fun. The bottom growth is continuing, very getting bigger visibly, which is so bizarre to watch. Very, very sensitive, at the point where I genuinely do need to clean under my foreskin. And you got to remember to do it. People say in the bath with like lukewarm water. My gynecologist gave me a peri bottle to use, and any trans guys dealing with bottom growth, I recommend it. It's like a sports drink bottle and a spray bottle had a baby, where you squeeze the bottle and at the end it's like a kind of like shower head water, and it just kind of like gently water spray washes your bits. It's usually postpartum care, like people after they had a baby. So it's just it's to gently wash your bits underneath. I recommend one of those because it's helpful to get all of it off when you can't wipe, you can't touch, you can't do any of that, right? It's angry. So yeah, I think. Oh, my orgasms are different. They are shorter, but they're more intense. And I didn't know what aftershocks were. I do now. They're these like muscle contractions that they just happen. Like your hips pulse for you. Did not know that was a thing. Read the word in I'm showing my ass here, but this is the testosterone vulnerability. You got to be transparent. I learned the word from like fan fiction, and it's not. I didn't know what it was, but I do now. Aftershocks are real, and it's very interesting the amount of sexual differences are purely chemical. That's really what HRT teaches you, is how much of it is chemical versus genetic or physical or whatever. But I think that's it. So I'm gonna put down the pocket knife of TMI. Probably shouldn't have said that it's a pocket knife, but I've said a lot of cursed algorithm words here, and I'm probably not gonna edit this. Safe. My pain tolerance is different. It's not as good. Pain hurts a little bit more. Like the shots hurt more and more each time. I think that's also probably my fat thinning on my thighs, because my fat is moving around. My shoulders are bigger. My thighs are a little thinner. My like waist isn't really going away yet. I would love for it to fill out, but it has not, and I don't like that. But we're waiting. And I was so scared because I really love tattoos. And I was like, but like I had 10 before starting testosterone, and I'd been so scared to get a new one because my pain tolerance was worse. And I was like, am I gonna be able to take it, or am I gonna be a little baby about it? But it's fine. They probably don't hurt more than I remember. It's been a while since I got one, so I don't know. But it wasn't significantly worse. I had a great time. It was fine. I did all of these in one sitting, and there's another one that I did, and there's some touch-ups I did. I'm fine, which is great. I had a period yesterday, which really was or yesterday, recently, I don't know, guys, recently, but it was really much like not. I didn't have any blood or cramping, but so like the only things that told me that my body was kind of having one were two other issues I have that only ever get as bad as they were when I'm on my period, which is hormonal largely, which is I got really, really constipated that I'm still trying to recover from, and my migraines get really, really bad. Gotta be hormonal, and whatever vestige of my period was left, it was a ghost of a period, really. My period was haunting me because she's dead, she's dying, I'm killing her, and she deserves it. She knows what she did. but that's my doctor told me that she expects it to disappear by 6 months, or by or around 6 months, which is great news. Timeline sounds like it's working. My facial hair is coming in thicker. I just shaved. I like shaving. Shaving feels good to do, and I also just don't like the feeling of them. I'm fine with these, but they grow longer on the sides, which is like starting to irritate me. Like, what do I let it grow? Do I trim it? What do I do, guys? Help. I'm also growing just a lot of thick hair. I don't know about the ass hair. I know there's the legend, and I mean, I've seen a lot of cis guys with very hairy asses, so I understand what that is and what it is. I don't think I have it yet, but my thighs are covered in hair. Like, my thigh hair now looks like my leg hair used to, and my leg hair now. I walked into my mom's room and she wasn't wearing her glasses, and she asked me if I was tan, and mom, no. And then I realized, I'm so much hairier, and your vision is blurry. I look darker. So yeah, I'm very, very hairy. My mom was telling me about my father and how hairy he was. I don't know him. And oh, I'm in for a treat. Yippee! Permanent pajama pants situation is coming for me, I think. Uh, but you take what you get. I mostly pass. So I think even not binding, which this is crazy to me. But like, me and my fiance will get like a thank you boys, but holding doors open. And it's mostly nice old ladies that do it, I think, actually, I'm noticing. But or like you fellows go on ahead, right? Like, that feels good to me every single time. I ride that high for at least a few hours. But one time I went to like where my fiance works, where he has definitely talked about having a fiance. And one of his coworkers came up and was like, "Hi, is this your brother?" Which, for like a cis gay couple, that's a nightmare to hear. From what I understand, people hate that. But she had no idea that she made my day, because she didn't ask, "Is this your sister? Is this your, whatever?" She said, "Is this your brother?" So fucking casually, because she knew that he had a lot of siblings, but it just, like, no, that's a dude. And would I have been guessed correctly if I looked more feminine? Probably. If she had seen a woman with him, she might have been like, "Oh, is this your fiance?" But it was a man, so I was like, "Was this your brother?" And I was like, but yay, right? That's really cool. And picking the name that I did, looking the way that I do, meant that I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Mario," and she fully, yep, normal, totally normal name. I see you. I understand, which is beautiful and incredible. And I'm doing the thing. you ever realize you're a stereotype? And I don't even know that side of my family. It's just, that's nature versus nurture, baby. That actually leads me into the next point on my list, which is, for a man I only have photos of, I'm looking a hell of a lot like him. Even more so from being like on the testosterone, which is really interesting that some chemicals will change which genes your body is focusing on. It's like, oh, we have man genes, or we have man juice. Let's look for the man, like, genetics. I literally, and it's a photo I've had for honestly months, if not a year, of my father when he was around my age, like a really young adult, like college age, I think. And before I was like, "Oh, I look just like him," right? But now I was looking at that photo, but like cropped and zoomed in. talking to my sister and my mom about it, and I could not convince myself that that was not me in that photo, and that was really, really crazy. Um, he's very Italian, and I'm very Italian. And it's testosterone is bringing it out in me because it's activating those genes, I guess. Magic, guys. I don't know. But I think it's neat. If he wasn't a terrible person, that would be cooler. But instead, I get to just look like him and hopefully not act like him and be better. That's always the goal. Be better than those that came before you. And the last point that I have on my list is that I'm actually seeing myself in the mirror. Day by day, I look in the mirror and he's not a stranger to me in the sense that she always was. For 20 years, I've looked into the mirror and seen a stranger wearing my face, staring back at me. But not really wearing my face. Like wearing a mask that is supposed to be my face, but it's wrong. And I didn't ever realize that was wrong, you know? It's a feeling that you don't know you're going without until you're going without it. And actually, no, until you have it. It's something you don't know you're lacking until you finally understand what that feels like. And you go, why haven't I gotten to feel like this my whole life? And especially, you know, when puberty hits is when life goes downhill for a lot of us. And I'm no exception. So for half of my life, basically, I've been living in a wretched, evil version of my body that lied to me and deceived me and felt like an ill-fitting prison. And I'm glad I finally got the key to unlock that shell. And I'm breaking out of it. I'm breaking out of her. At my own pace. I seem to be taking to the testosterone very well. There's a course I still have acne, and to my understanding temporary. I'm sweaty and stinky to my understanding permanent. I don't think I've been having as many angry outbursts, but I'm not the best judge of that apparently. But the bad things are so minuscule in the grand scheme, like in the big picture of being happy, of feeling correct in my body, in a way that I just never have gotten to feel. And for anybody watching this, sorry, my throat's really dry. That's a problem too. If your throat's dry, your voice is going to be even meaner to you while it's changing. I should have been nicer to the boys in middle school for sure. I didn't get it. Oh God, what was I saying? If you're out there living in a prison the way that I was and will continue to be for a while, probably, it will get better, and you will find the thing that makes you get better. And in this world as we are today, your very existence defies what they want. By being alive, you are fighting. So it's worth it to fight to stay alive. And I know that seems empty, but I, for about half my life, have just had the deep-rooted curse of suicidal thoughts and suicidal ideation. And it's really, really tough. Because there were many reasons for like the depression and everything, but for the most part, it was just something so intrinsic that I never understood until I started to understand it. And what really, really made the breakthrough for me, I mean, I mostly got it, which is why I scheduled the appointment in the first place. I was like, in a world, like, yeah, I made the appointment in November of 24 for context, but I was so scared that how will this go? Sorry, I dropped my pen. But I knew I had to do it anyway because the woman in the mirror was killing me. And I just hit the point where I realized it was her or me. So I'm killing her one injection a week at a time. And it's been surreal because as soon as the testosterone started hitting my body and my body started to realize what was happening, I didn't want to kill myself anymore. Yes, it's a seed that comes from the back of my brain sometimes, as a resort to really, really horrible situations. But those are few and far between, as opposed to the just background radiation of not wanting to live in this body anymore. There's more ways to not live in your body anymore without no longer living. There's something you can do, and it's important to do it, okay? Truly, truly, it is important that we live for us. You can have the courage. You can be brave. Do it scared, but do it. Take yourself forward to make steps towards a future that has a version of you that you love in it. A version of you that is you. I'm taking those steps. I took those first steps, and I'm here, and I want to be here, and I feel good in my body, and I'm not uncomfortable all the time. Yes, I'm still a little scared in the men's bathroom, but do they ever look at me funny? No. Do I feel weird using the stall even if I'm just peeing? Yeah. Are STPs really hard to use? Absolutely. Okay, I don't know how y'all do it. But I look normal, and I get treated normal. And old ladies call me fella. And people are finally starting to see me the way... People are really finally starting to see me. And I'm really thankful because not a lot of trans people get to have that. And I know that that's true. I know that there are still things I have that others don't. And I hope the best for y'all. This is my story, and this might help timeline-wise. I can't draw the line between this is what has changed in my body and this is how I'm feeling. I really can't, because they're intrinsically tied. They're braided together with my being. I knew I had to record this different because it was going to be long. I knew it was going to be long. And it's not even 6 months. This feels like a 6-month update, but also those milestones are made up. And this is the point that I am in my life, and I think that's really important, okay? Don't go by other people's timelines. And if you're on T, you could be the same amount on T as I am. You could have started the same day, and your body could have changed at a different rate. You could have things I don't have. You could be without some things that I do. Everybody's body is different. All of these are everybody's that they make that's their timeline. That's what changed for them. And your body's different, but it helps you ballpark it, right? But I really hope the best for y'all. Thank you for watching and listening, especially if you're not even trans, you just are curious, you want to learn. I encourage learning, and I am somebody who clearly is not afraid of TMI. I think TMI is made up by people who are cowards in terms of talking about true vulnerability. But not everybody understands to do it scared. Like if you are watching this and you happen to be really curious about transgender people and medicine and hormones and all of that, if you ask me politely, I will answer you politely. That's honestly, if you're coming from a point of genuine curiosity and you're pretty polite about it, you'll get an answer as thorough as I can possibly be. Because I love there's nothing wrong with wanting to learn. Oh, it's hard to see, but this one's a little bit bigger than these. I'm getting an Adam's apple as well. I think that's cool. Because it is like it's the pharynx growing or something, right? Is it the pharynx or is it the larynx? I don't know. It's been a while since anatomy, huh? But I'm dragging on. This is a 30-minute video, basically. I love y'all. And even if you're not curious or you're not trans, you're just like my friend or something, and you want to know super personal details about my body, you don't have to go on YouTube for that. You can just text me. Clearly, I will share weird details about my body. Sometimes my friends receive this and they don't get to consent first. So at least this time, you clicked on a video. I appreciate that. Love y'all. Bye.